Brake failure is believed to have caused the deadly bus crash that claimed the lives of 3 people and left scores more critically injured in the oThongathi, Kwazulu-Natal this morning. The province's Transport Department says preliminary reports suggest the driver was speeding when brakes failed, causing the bus to plunge off a bridge. Let's get some more detail now around this, and we speak to the KZN Transport spokesperson, Ndabezinhle Sibiya. Mr. Sibiya, good evening to you. Thank you very much for making time for us. Let's try and get the latest, perhaps, from your investigations. Yes, they are at their early stages, but at least the preliminary findings, as per that introduction, the driver was speeding and it appears that the brakes failed. Is there anything more that you can tell us that's a new development?
Well, no, thank you very much, Toli. And you're quite correct. The MEC, Sponsor Duma, was, very clear this morning when he visited the scene of the horrific bus accident that, he would prefer that murder charges be, investigated against the driver. He feels that capable homicide is not going to really take us forward because, the driver, he was, speeding. You can just have a look at the rail, the bridge rails, the impact. They were severely damaged. We are obviously told by the highly efficient team from Road Traffic Inspectorate working with the Metro Police and other law enforcement agencies that look, the driver, as he was approaching the traffic, he veered off the road and plunging about 50 meters, down. The people died there. About 3 people died, unfortunately, women. We are obviously interacting with the healthcare professionals in various, healthcare institutions. At this stage, we have about 14 people that are still under medical care. 1 person was treated and discharged, but the whole issue that the MEC is raising is the issue of the punishment of those that are involved in this horrific accident. So
driver behavior is one issue, and while the families of the people both injured and those who've sadly passed away, while it may sound good that the MEC says murder charges should possibly be preferred against the driver, what about mechanical failure of the bus itself? How are you planning to hold to account the owner of the bus?
You're quite correct. We talk here about the roadworthiness of the bus, the worthiness of the bus, and, that is why the MEC has said the team from Road Traffic Inspectorate must work with the Road Traffic Management Corporation from National and the SAPS, to look into the entire, roadworthiness of the bus. Then linked to that, he has said the bus who survived, the bus driver who survived, he must be, observed so that there is no, escape of the driver, and equally the owners of the bus company must also be interrogated by the police. Because you talked here about, the road accident that, are taking place in various parts of the province of Kwazulu-Natal. If you look at the latest figures that, were issued, you talk about 164 billion, the cost of road accident to the economy of the country, talk about 3.4, percent of the GDP. Here, the people were traveling to work early in the morning. The people that are economic active, traveling from Ward 32 in oThongathi going to work. Now, 3 people are gone, others are injured. There's a disruption of, the supply chain because, the traffic, came to a standstill, the roads were closed. Yeah. There was a disruption of supply chain networks, the loss of production when you talk about the economy of the province and in that part of, eThekwini. So you see, when we talk about road accidents, the MEC has said, let's look at it very broadly. That is why he feels that we need to be very hard, on some, motorists, especially those that are found to be on the wrong side of the law.
Mr. Sibiya, very briefly, we're out of time. This is not the first bus accident in KZN this year. You'll remember back in March on the N2 between Richards Bay and Shaga's Kraal. 9 people lost their lives, and that was, again, a bus crash. Take us back to that particular accident. What have your reports said was the issue there?
Well, the Road Traffic Management Corporation, the SAPS, are managing that process. Obviously, will be guided by them in terms of the outcomes. We're working very well with them as we move forward. And, during the Easter, holidays, fortunately, we recorded a decrease in terms of the fatalities. But the MEC has said, look, let us intensify the road safety campaigns as we move forward. We've got the transport forums in various parts of the province of Kwazulu-Natal, in local municipalities. The decentralization of the campaigns is what, is the main focus of the MEC.
Okay.
He met with the management of the department yesterday. These are some of the issues that came under discussion.
Mr. Sibiya, let me help you. The Road Traffic Management Corporation at the time said their preliminary reports suggested that the crash happened due to a tire failure, causing the driver to lose control. That is the bus accident that happened in March of this year. Mechanical issues are part and parcel of what we are talking about here. Is there a need from the side of the department in KZN to go into bus companies and actually inspect these for roadworthiness and compliance? If you're saying the answer is yes, the question is, why haven't you done it already?
Yeah, you must have been overtaken by events, because we do those inspections now and again. And before the Easter holidays, we interacted with the religious leaders in various parts of the country, of the province, doing the inspections. We do surprise visits. We've been to Pietermaritzburg, we've been to Depot. And but at the end of the day, we are saying, look, this is a collective responsibility. We want the transport forums to work that out with community leaders. We want the bus owners also be part of the entire road safety campaign. We are intensifying it. We've got mayors, in Ilembe district municipality, for instance, where we experienced those fatalities. We're working with the mayor of Ilembe, the mayor of Kwazulu-Natal, the mayor of Mandeni.
Mr. Sibiya.
They're also bringing on board the traditional leaders so that we are able to turn around the corner.
Unfortunately, Mr. Sibiya, I'm sorry I keep interrupting you, but you're not coming closer to what I'm trying to point out to you. And I'm saying a problem clearly exists where bus companies are concerned. Should you not be taking the proactive step of saying, we're going into bus companies and we are inspecting all your fleets for roadworthiness to make sure that people are safe, because those are the most precious cargo?
Yeah, you are obviously echoing my words, and I indicated that we do those inspections. We go to Depot, we go to various areas of work where we have people that are obviously operating, companies that are involved in the freight industry. On the 10th of April, we had a meeting involving the Sunrun, the Department of Transport, and other role players, where we looked at the whole issue of the traffic volumes, especially during the peak hours. And we brought on board the truck the truck associations, the freight associations, because KwaZulu-Natal, as you know, is the logistic hub. So we are bringing on board all these private companies so that at least what we do, we use one plan. So that includes the roadworthiness of vehicles that are inspected. We've increased the number of traffic officers in various parts of KwaZulu-Natal. We've got way bridges where the companies that are involved in the freight industry are actually expected to ensure that their fleet is inspected. So it's work that is ongoing. But on top of that, we are obviously calling upon the private sector to work with us. There's a freight association in Ndaba that the MEC has proposed, so that we all move in the same direction, save the economy. Because if you look at the traffic congestion, We talk here about 3.2 million work days that are lost a year as a result of road accidents.
All
So
right.
it is a collective responsibility. As the department, we are working, with all these, private companies to turn things around.
Mr. Sibiya, I appreciate your time, and I do apologize for pressing you a little bit more there, but at a time like this, people want to see action, and until such time that we hear severe penalties on the part of bus companies that are involved in such accidents, I'm not so sure the public is going to be appeased by stakeholder meetings and what have you. But thank you very much for your time.